episode 24. Well, against all my best interests, the best I managed to do is sell one of you into slavery recently, and it was to one of you.
Technically.
Not sure this is how I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be taking the characters away from you. I did get a cohort kill. A well-earned and deserved cohort kill. And I'm working on cohort number 2 now.
I might actually have to learn his name if he lives for another...
This one dies, that's 20 hours of work just gone.
But where do we find ourselves this session? You guys are all dead, right, from last I remember?
I mean, I'm dead inside, but that's a different story.
Yeah, and I mean, there's dead things laying at our feet.
Right, and you guys, like, after successfully defeating them, went and hero, right?
Yep.
It's an old meme.
I know, and I still like it.
Actually kind of edgy.
In fact, I still refer to them as image macros.
Steve, get the hell out of here.
And I mean, it is an older meme. Do you think anybody who heard it would actually know that it's cancel worthy?
Is it really now?
I think it would be. Like, the context of it is pretty bad.
I don't know. Wait, what did you mention, Steve?
And hero.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, then I'll be careful about that from now forward, because that's a fair point. I could see how people could perceive it that way. But I'm talking about in a video game, a game that is on video.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Now that makes sense. There you go.
That's all you needed. But yeah, I mean, we just killed like a bunch of gibbering mouthers. I mean, that took up a pretty large portion of the session.
I know that's everybody's favorite, right?
Combat? Or gibbering mouthers?
Gibbering mouthers. That's
I
everybody's
actually
favorite.
just
No, that
just
was probably my
because-
least favorite.
I enjoy them just because you enjoy them so much. So it makes the combat more fun.
I didn't really enjoy not being in combat.
That is true. You got suckered out.
I saw all those attacks coming out, like, and we're dead. And they were just like death by 1,000 cuts. Like,
If you want, you can just end hero yourself in the literal video game, and I can resurrect you, and then you will be immune to their effects.
Well, he's not wrong.
But yeah, we had just got to Drought Town or
Drought
We're in Twilight.
You just have to Drought Town!
Was it Twilight Town?
And I forget who we were about to talk to, but like it ended because we were going to talk to somebody.
That is. Hold on. I don't remember you guys getting ready to talk to somebody.
Yeah,
I need to.
I thought we just got to the market and then we like ended, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's where my notes end. Is that we
Okay.
just got to the market and we decided to end there.
Okay.
Because what's his face wasn't in his house again.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
That's, I think, why I was confused, because I was thinking, like, he wasn't there this time. I remember rolling low on the chance that he's there.
Just a quick clarification in the notes. Jonathan isn't actually spelled Jonathan, is it?
Jonathan is spelled with a J.
Is it?
Yes.
So it's literally
Yeah.
Jonathan? Oh
It's
my
Jonathan.
God.
Yeah, that's how,
Oh my
because it was
God.
Jess that made that character. She was the
Oh
one who
God.
made points
Okay, never
with it,
mind.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
ignore this whole thing.
Nope,
now.
it's literally
Literally
spelt
Jonathan.
like, yeah.
Oh God.
It was bought and paid for with the channel points as they were supposed to be spent. There's still another name pending that there's still Jerry, the NPC, that has to be fit in here at some point. But we'll see when Jerry makes his appearance. In the meantime, you guys find yourselves back down in the market.
Yes, I think there was a unusual scroll that we couldn't find on the surface, so I would like to find that scroll that I wrote down somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully you can find it. I will get my dice ready.
It was the one to make your undead look.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think I have my notes on Felix's character sheet.
There was also like a bag of loot we were looking for. I mean, group of adventurers we were trying to save down here.
That is true. That is true.
Were they in the drought tunnels though?
All we know is that they came this way and they came by the city. They told the shopkeeper they were coming toward the city.
We were.
Or this area here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keep in mind it's less of a city and more like about the size of like a hamlet in terms of population density.
Just before I forget, appearance of life. Scroll of appearance of life.
Appearance of life, and that was what level?
I'll have to look.
I'll pull it up if you don't have it.
I think it's level 3, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's see, appearance of life. And down here it is a little higher or a little easier to find, but let's see what happens. You will ask around, and you will find that somebody just sold their last copy of it.
To who?
It was a group.
I'm supposed to tell you who I sold something to.
Well, maybe I'll try to buy it off him if he didn't use it already, or her.
Should I tell them that you're interested in finding them? I could send them a message right now and notify them. And if they'd like, they can come back here.
Sure. I'd like to buy their new scroll that they
What is your
bought.
full name so I can let them know it?
Uh-oh.
Why do they need that? Just don't meet me here.
Well, I need to make sure that you're trustworthy. If something were to happen to them after they came here, of course, we'd want to make sure that we know who to go after.
Since you sold the scroll, can you make more, or is this something you just came across?
I unfortunately do not have the ability to place that within a spell book like some of you have. It was just something I happened upon as it came through my business.
I see. Well, if you want to message them and let them know that there's someone that would pay for the scroll, maybe a more higher price, let them know. If they're not interested, then forget about it, I guess.
I will reach out to them then. And you're certain this is something you want to offer them? What would be a price you'd be willing to pay them?
Well, this is a little awkward since you sold it to them. How much did you sell it to them for?
Well, that's again another weird question. Very specific you are here with your questions.
Well, I need to know how much to offer them. I don't want to
Can I
lowball them.
Can I roll appraise?
Yeah, give me an appraise check. You're not exactly sure what this should cost, but he will eventually tell you that he charged them about 500 gold for it.
You charged them 500 gold.
Yes, scrolls are in limited supply at times, especially one as rare as that one.
Is this in common?
No, it's all in drow. Or undercommon, rather.
Well, I don't know if it's worth his time then, if you're not going to make a good margin on it. I don't know what kind of person... Do you have any idea what kind of person this was? Did he look like he really wanted the scroll, or was he just buying it? I mean, it is specific, I guess.
They seem very happy to have gotten a copy of it, although they did have quite a pack on their back, so it is possible that they were some sort of type that happens to carry them in a book. So perhaps it transcribed it into the book.
Oh, well. I guess if you're willing to send a message, are you doing this for free for me?
Of course not.
How much to send a message?
I will charge you a fair price of 150 gold.
Oh my god. Well,
I will have to use sending, and that's not a cheap spell.
That is fair. Unfortunately, I think this whole endeavor is outside my means.
Very well. If I happen to see them again, I will let them know that someone came here that was interested. Is there some way something you can leave behind so they know how to reach you?
Yeah, or if you happen to get another scroll, is there an easy way to contact you to get this information, or?
If you want to keep checking in, I assume you must not have access to sending, so that would be difficult. But if you ever happen upon the ability to cast sending, perhaps you can send it to me, and he will slide you over like a little kind of what looks like a piece of paper at first as he slides it to you. But as you pick it up, you can see his name for a brief second appear, and then the whole thing disappears in your fingertips.
Just double checking, do you actually need a name for sending, or you just need to know them? Like, know of them?
I think you just have to be able to visualize them.
True. So yeah, I don't know if he wants to give me his name. He doesn't have to, I guess.
Well, so what they do is they give you, what you get isn't, it's a name. It's not necessarily his name, it's a name.
Okay. So do I need to write this down, or can I commit it to memory?
You can commit it to memory.
Okay.
The idea here is these names are very easy to remember. And so as long as you can remember what the person was, you can remember what the name ID is. Part of this as well is, let's say you don't have sending, but you instead have scrying. You could scry on whatever that name is, and it will take you to wherever that name is located at. And then you could potentially message the person when you have a moment.
All right. Yeah, I'll commit this to memory and check in with him if I ever am able to.
Okay. Is there anything else I can do for you? I'm sorry that I did not have what you're looking for at this time.
I mean, if the party's here, I'll go back to common and say, are you guys interested in any magical scrolls or anything that might be unavailable on the surface? He doesn't have what I was looking for, unfortunately.
I can't think of anything.
Whitney wasn't here, but I was asking if you were looking for any scrolls or anything that would be rarer. So if you guys are interested in any of that,
I'll check if he has that spell you were gonna learn from me.
Oh, unfortunately, none of us can use it because it's a wizard-only spell.
Okay.
But you could buy a wand of it, and we could do it that way. If you're, it's pretty.
Can't
expensive.
do a wand. Wands are use activation, so it has to be on your spell list to use it, unless somebody's got UMD.
Yeah, I have UMD.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize that was something. I'm not used to players actually speccing into UMD, so.
Yeah, I'm actually doing it, trying it out. But yeah, it would be. I think we realized it would be impractical in combat to do this, so it's kind of useless unless someone else can cast it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sadly, Isaac does not have UMD, because that would have been perfect.
So yeah, no one else has any requests. I guess we leave the shop.
All right. Is there anything else you'd want to look around for while you're here before you head on to other things?
Actually, I will ask, I forgot your character's name. John.
I've told you guys. Sen.
Yeah, Sen. Yeah. I would ask Sen if he could ask the shopkeep, since he's sort of familiar with them now, if he's seen some other surface dwellers down there.
Just see if they got deeper or not. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would see if he's seen any other interesting people from the surface come by his shop or in the market recently.
There are always other people that come in that are different. Some of them, we can't tell if they're from the surface or what we've referred to as the lower refugees. People from the upper area that somehow couldn't make it in your city and needed to find salvation deep enough that no one would venture after them. Many of them are highly wanted criminals that scour the tunnels from time to time for wealth or food or whatever other pleasures they desire. They will from time to time come up here to engage in trade with us, but then make their way back down. But we see not which way they come from.
Hey Grim, do you remember exactly what the group was comprised of? Because then that would be a more specific.
I think there were 3 humans and a halfling.
3 humans and a halfling. So yeah, I'll ask him about 3 humans and a halfling who look like adventuring sorts.
I know the rogue was a halfling. The other 3, I'm pretty sure were humans.
These they're missing from the surface, and we were seeing if we could locate them or let their loved ones know what happened to them. But
that assortment doesn't sound unfamiliar. I didn't see them myself, but I do know that somebody had spoke of that assortment of people. It is a very unique one to some degree. They had mentioned that the halfling one, even with their ability to view darkness, seemed very hard to see down here. Creating some kind of trick of the eye for him. Made him very worried they were going to steal some of his stuff. Kept eyeing one of his daggers very, very, very intensely.
So do you know who this person? Can we talk to this person who's more familiar with them?
Yes, about 3 stalls over.
3 stalls over.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I don't know if I caught your name. What's your? Oh, you're right. I did catch your supposed name. So yeah, thank you. Hopefully, I'll be doing business with you eventually about other things. But I'll give Am I aware what's customary, like, for wasting people's time? Is it like a couple gold or something?
It's usually a few silver for information, dependent upon the value of the information. And he didn't give you a lot of really powerful information, so.
All right, I'll just flip him 1 gold. So
okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Glad you understand.
I'll nod, and I don't know if that was all in Drow. I'll tell the party, oh yeah, a few stalls over, there's a guy who apparently saw these group of people, so let's go talk to that guy. Or girl. Person.
Yeah, you can head on over, and here there is a as you get close, Higram, you notice that it looks kind of halfling in nature, but something about their face seems odd, and it has this weird color, this weird kind of almost greenish coloration to it. Almost like a hue to their skin. Their eyes seem a bit malformed, very different than what you would expect. And almost like they're in a perpetual state of being tired. And they look up to you as you come forward. Upsiders, yes.
You speaking common?
Undercommon.
Oh, undercommon? Does anyone? I don't want to hoggle this. Does anyone understand or?
Yeah, literally, you're our liaison.
Yeah, I understand it.
Oh,
okay, yeah. I'll nudge Rusty. I need to check on my undead. You talk to this guy.
So what's going on here?
You came up here. I sell weapon wares.
I'm sorry, I forget. What are we looking for?
Damn it, Rusty! Get out of my way.
Well, to be fair, that's good, because technically, Sen didn't fill Rusty in on all the information that he just learned. Sen was just we gotta go over and talk to this other guy. Oh, so, okay. I don't think Rusty really actually does know exactly what happened.
Fair, I push Rusty aside. We're looking for 3 humanoids that were accompanied by a halfling. Maybe you were venturing here a little bit recently, within the last few weeks. They've gone missing. We're trying to figure out what happened to them.
Yes, disgusting people they all were.
Oh,
especially,
why were they disgusting?
Especially that halfling.
Wait, you described this guy as a halfling-looking thing, right?
Yes.
Oh, he's like a self-hater or something?
That halfling, so pathetic.
What was wrong with
my daggers? He's a halfling.
Oh.
Aren't you a halfling?
No. That's a silly and disgusting thing for you to say to me. Why would you say such a thing?
Yeah, why would you say that, Rusty? That's so rude.
Are you some kind of elf?
I mean, no, but...
Doesn't that offend you that I would refer to you as an elf?
I don't see why it would offend me.
Right, of course not. You wouldn't see why it would offend you, because you're just some sick human. You're all sick. You all bring diseases everywhere you go.
That part's true.
He said that part's true.
You bring another halfling into my mists. This one riding some kind of cat.
Well, it's
is this your slave?
Speaking of slavery, but no. But excuse my rude friend over here. But you said you did see them. But do you know where they went? Which way? Did they go deeper or did they go back up?
He like points around. You drow always assume everybody knows everything, but no. This is my stall. It's pointed this way. If somebody walks that way too far, I stop seeing them.
Well,
I understand that your vision in this darkness goes further than mine, oh great drow, but I can't see outside of my stall.
Sure, you said the halflings stared at your daggers. I was hoping perhaps you had some conversation with them and figured their destination, but perhaps not.
I don't ask where people are going. That's rude.
Is it?
Shame.
It
There
is.
would have been an ample supply of gold for someone who knew where they went. Oh well.
I guess we're going to have to find
Would
someone
there
else who
have
knows.
been? Give me a bluff, diplomacy, or just straight up charisma check.
Can anyone assist me with this?
I'd love to.
Well,
I can't speak.
That
I don't know
assist
what's
is successful.
happening,
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Well, if there's coin in it, that's a bit of a different story. I didn't see anything, but I have other eyes here. Perhaps one of them did. Coin first. I know how you drow work.
Again, is this a thing I can appraise the correct amount to bribe?
Yes, you absolutely can. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you get the idea that if he actually has information as to where these people came from, or where these people went, rather, it's probably worth a lot of money, depending upon how much he knows. Like a starting like offering of 50 gold could loosen him up to tell you roughly how much he knows. And then from there, you can assess what the rest of the value is. And you, with your 31, it would apply to the whole thing. Like, once he gives you the value, you know what kind of the final closing value would be. But there needs to be at least enough gold to make it worth it, not him being willing to share the information.
Yeah, I tell him, let me confer with my colleagues how much we can offer you for your information. I'll switch back to, I don't know what language everyone, I guess I just have to do common. I'll just whisper, hopefully he can't understand or hear me. I'll just whisper and say, do any of you know if he's telling the truth? Does he actually know?
Know what?
Yeah, I have no idea what he's
The
saying.
truth about what? I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
He could be saying anything. The truth about blah, 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 blah.
So I'll unwhisper this part. Unwhisper. I'll speak normally about this part to say, he claims to know where or have information about their whereabouts. Well, I guess I don't know if you guys can really sense what we can't even understand him. And
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to gauge when it's not in the moment, right?
No, you could gauge, but it's very hard to gauge someone you don't understand.
Well,
You're
can I
just
use a
looking
check
at
so I can
mannerisms.
try?
Yeah, you
I'll
can give it a try.
Yeah, can I have gauged him as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious. Nope.
I will spend a thing because I
Okay.
have extras of them.
Give me roll that inspiration on top of it, and I'll let you know results. All right, so Rusty, you kind of feel from this that he's probably like got a good amount of info. He perked up at the sound of gold, and you know a little about drow custom, but like it would be dangerous for him to lie to a drow about something, like very dangerous to him potentially. He doesn't know Astrom's status, so he doesn't know like how dangerous, but it could be dangerous to lie to a drow. Silvio, I think a lot of what you're feeling right now as you look at him is, this guy, something just seems kind of shady and weird about this guy. Like, just genuinely not, like, there's not something that, like, you don't know anything about what he's saying, whether or not that's true, but there's definitely something that's kind of off about this guy, and it gives you like a slight what to most people might be like the fingers down the spine. But in your case, you kind of know how to stay firm as you kind of get that weird like something feels weird here feeling.
Okay, like something like this dude seems strong, or it's like just I have no idea.
Just something is off about all this. Like
He's a serial killer.
He seems slimy.
like he's saying he has like they said he has information about stuff, right? But he's like here in this booth. So if he has information about stuff outside of this booth about where the group went, he must have some other way to have acquired that information. And looking at him, it makes you feel kind of unnerved as to how this guy could have that.
He did mention. I guess I could say this. Didn't he say he has eyes other places? Maybe he has some people that he pays off.
And as he says that, give me a perception check, Silvio.
People watching us, maybe.
Yeah, you immediately know what that sense that you're feeling is, and you spot like a few people that are nearly invisible in the well, you have dark vision now, right?
Well, it's low light. I don't know if the dark vision is still active from last session.
No, we're past that. I think even still though, what you do is you hear, like you can hear the faintest sound of breathing coming from not too far from where you're standing. It finally hits you that that's not like your party members breathing near you. There's one extra breath that's coming from very close by you.
Okay.
But when you look about, you cannot see it.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's someone else in here, guys. Possibly invisible or well hidden.
Don't mind what you feel or hear or think you see. Everything is fine.
I recommend
Reaching
checking
my
your
goals with
pockets.
him here now.
He just revealed something, by the way.
Well, I don't speak undercommon.
He didn't say that in Undercommon.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's what I think I figured.
Oh, that he understood me. Yeah. Gotcha. All right, guys. Looks like we can speak common in here.
Well, at least to this guy.
This terrible human tongue. I'll speak it if I must.
Also, while this conversation is going on, I'd like to direct Isaac to check out some of the weaponry here, like see like what sort of quality it is, like see if this dude actually is a weaponsmith or if he is like an information broker or whatever.
So this guy does sell very, very fine weapons. There's a lot of like mithril stuff here, some adamantine stuff here. This guy seems to like kind of specialize in more fancifully designed items that have like they have higher than average price tags because there's something special about these things. So he brokers in like more designer weapon stuff that he's acquired from different places.
Can we pay this dude some money and get his information so we can like do something? I'm getting bored standing around.
Oh, the human is bored. Typical
Do you want my
human
money or not?
females.
Wow, I was gonna hand you 10 platinum, but you're being racist towards me? Damn.
That's your loss. That's just a lack of information for you.
I'm about to say, Rusty didn't tell us how much is customary to give him. So if I give money, it's going to be like 5 gold. Because I'm like, 5 gold's a lot to them, probably.
No, I stop you. It's like, no, he's more like 50 gold, and I'm sure he'll...
Well, I was considering paying the man, but now he's been rude to our good friend here. I don't think...
Well, that's your lack of information, not mine. So I guess good day then, if that is how it will be.
Nah, I'll give him. I'll reach in my pouch.
Hey,
Really
Grum, do
carefully.
not pay this sexist, racist man unless you're hiding it. I didn't hear what you were saying.
No, I'm reaching him up. I'm trying to keep the super spoopy guy who's lurking around from seeing.
Listen, it's my job to broker information, and I am good at that. I get information, and I turn it into goods.
Well, I don't do business with sexist, racist people, so.
I don't know. I do business with people that get information for me. I'll pay $50.
I was just thinking that. 50 gold. Here you go.
Luna, let's get out of here.
I'm sorry, I gotta do it. We gotta get them.
Are both of you handing him 50 gold? Because he will snatch up both of them as quickly as he can.
I was reaching in, and if Rusty gives it, I'm gonna stop.
So yeah, as Rusty like extends out his hand slowly with the gold, the bag will lift up out of your hand, or like the coins will lift up out of your hand and drop into a container behind his counter. Ah, these 4 you seek to find.
You better not right.
They are not yet dead, but they are left behind. The 3rd, or the 4th, the one that you cannot see in the darkness well, slipped away from the other 3. He wanders here from time to time, looking for a way to free his friends, looking for a way to find revenge. If it's him you wish to find, he will lead you to his friends, and a little more coin should be levied. With the appraise check that you know, if he has like pinpoint information about this guy, that is worth about 200 gold on its own. Just the information about where this guy is staying at.
I guess I relay that to the group.
Yes, your friend is well versed in these customs. I would be willing to accept this 200, and I will give you precisely where he is, at least where he was within the last few hours.
I don't say this, but that is some accurate information. Jesus. He's got up to the hour for that's like internet speeds for back then.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if everyone willing to put in 40.
I think Luna and I are not in the.
Yeah, they're outside.
Yeah, we went outside.
Okay, so
I'll give him 200.
Yeah, as you give it to him, he will.
I'll give him 20 flat.
He will like reach back and he will draw forth a scroll, and he will unroll it. And he will start writing something down on it. And then he will proceed to cast whatever the scroll is after he writes onto the scroll. And a figure will slowly materialize, this like very dark, shadowy figure that's kind of like hunched over and looks like a shadowed version of this guy. Looks up at you, and it like beckons for you to follow it.
Yeah, I mean, seems inviting to me.
Or either walking into a trap or walking into the trap.
Yeah, make it normal without breaking a few.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'll be looking around. Like, if you need me to roll my perception.
Yep, give me a perception as you are traveling there.
Well, we're gonna go get the other 2, right?
I'm assuming so.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought they were just right outside.
Yeah, we're right outside. I just don't know where this thing's taking you. Is it like, or? But yeah, if you guys are getting ready to like go follow this thing, I'll say, guys, I'm pretty dark, but I don't think we should do business with people that don't respect any of our party members. It doesn't look. I don't think Luna feels too good about you guys just giving this guy money after he insulted her that way.
People insult people all the time, though.
I
said, I get insulted all the time. I don't care.
Yeah, we shouldn't do business with those people that insult you.
Well, we already paid a lot of gold, so
this thing is not like waiting on you.
No,
it does move.
Walk and talk.
It does move very slowly, but it does not wait for you.
All right, yeah, we can walk and talk.
In the future, I will keep that in mind.
Grow some thicker skin. Stop being so weak.
Oh my God, Silvio!
Yeah,
Luna's,
if you're a cis model, you know that was bullshit.
Money talks, my man.
Luna's helped us all quite a bit with her.
Yeah, and I respect her for doing it, but I also
clearly
wanna
not.
get
You don't
her.
respect her enough to
just
for
because
200 gold.
I'm willing to do business with an asshole doesn't mean I don't want to get stuff done.
All I'm saying is, in the heat of combat, if you don't get your scar healed, you'll know why. I just think it's best to be on the witch's good side, not the bad side.
Maybe she should tell me if I'm on her bad side or not. You seem like you're talking for her.
Yeah, don't mansplain it. Teach you to stick up for people.
Stick out for each other.
This shadow will guide you down the halls, or down a few
Can I
corridors.
spellcraft this thing, or did I lose my chance?
No, you have dark vision, so you'd have a good enough ability to spellcraft.
Do I know what's the magic this is, or what this is?
Yeah. This spell is one that you are entirely unfamiliar with. You've never seen this spell cast before. It has it appears sort of like a unseen servant. But at the distance you're at, it's way outside of the range of what an unseen servant would normally be able to do.
Right.
You also, the way that it moves, you get the impression that it has to have some ability to see where it's going and how it's getting there, because it's not like flying through walls to get to the destination. It's moving you down corridors. But this is definitely a shadowy apparition that is going, but not.
Did this thing leave from where I thought that the thing I had spotted might have been?
No, this thing appeared. Yeah, this thing appeared in front of you, and took you that way. In fact, actually, Silvio, with your, I don't know, that perception was related to the gauge from earlier.
No,
even still,
the 26. That was.
No, I was looking at the 36, but even still with the 26, since you know what that sound is like, you do know that breathing doesn't seem like it's gone.
Oh no!
It seems fainter for some reason, but it doesn't sound like it's gone.
No. I'm looking at it. I don't even know.
Yeah. By the way, that thing that I sensed earlier could potentially be following us.
Are we worried about that? Or?
I feel it, but I can't really finger on it.
It gave me a weird tingle, like maybe it felt like a nice challenge.
Yeah, Rusty, as he's bringing this up, you can now kind of hear that additional breathing sound that's coming from behind you, as would Astrum.
Do you think it's like this is how he gets his information?
Almost
It
certainly.
just follows and watches, or is it like gonna try to stab us?
I would put serious money on this is how he gets his information.
But is it like an offensive thing, or just like divination type of thing?
I don't know about spells. I don't know.
Do we
It seems
think-
like it just gathers information, so whatever that. I don't think it's gonna attack us, but I mean,
I think it's invisible. I can glitter dust.
Well, unless it makes itself a problem, we can probably just ignore it.
It's probably not visible because it's fainter now than it was before. I don't know. I mean, it could just be following farther behind us, or it could be something that we're feeling still from where we came from.
Until it becomes a problem, I don't care enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever it is, I'm sure we can take care of it.
As we're following this thing, are we out of the market by now, or are we in the tunnels again, or?
You are in the tunnels again. You are in. It sort of winds you around very close to the territories, but just away from it enough that you don't cross into any of them.
All right, so spell casting wouldn't be out of the question right here, right?
That's correct.
All right, I'm just gonna whip around glitter dust behind me where I feel the breathing.
You glitter dust behind you, and I need to check something real quick.
Who's following me?
Pocket sand.
Pocket sand.
I think the ground mica. I don't know what that is.
Mica?
Mica is a component. I don't know what that is.
It's like
Is it
rock.
sand or oh,
It's
rock.
it's like sand or rock.
Oh, okay. So it is populous.
Yeah.
How does this work on? I think this has mischance, right? Let me check here.
Oh, if they're ethereal.
If they are incorporeal, yeah. I think
Incorporeal,
it's 50%
yeah,
chance to
50%
affect them.
chance.
Give
Yeah.
me you roll the D100 since I've kind of given it away a little bit.
Do I want lower or higher?
You want lower, we'll say here.
Low, 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 low. Whoa! I don't know what that means.
It is 1 to 51, or 1 to 50 rather, because 51 to 100 would be the other end. So yeah, you spin around, you feel like this fell, and you notice for a second, like, the glitter dust seems like it's about to kind of hit nothing, and then a little bit of it kind of illuminates the lower part of it, but enough to, like, kind of see up. And you can see what looks like the black outline of some sort of humanoid, very similar to the thing that's in front of you, but this thing seems to like respire as it stands behind you, but it doesn't seem to be bothered at all by the glitter dust. It just seems to kind of accept that it's occurred upon it. But you guys can anybody can give me a knowledge religion as they look at it.
I don't think I
I can
have that.
technically do that.
Luna's going.
One sec, trying to find.
What the hell is this thing?
Does it look like
I hate when my. What's the thing? What do we get for knowledge religions? Ooh, Luna with a big 30 there. Hold this. Fix it. All right. Nope. Yeah, so you would know this to be some form of shadow. There's something weakened about this beyond just what a normal, like, lesser shadow would be. Like something is stripping away part of its power. So it seemed like making it very docile, and it simply kind of follows you. You would know that these are incorporeal. They have full concealment when they are within shadows or darkened conditions. They are... some people refer to them as undead, which isn't untrue, but it's also not true. Like, a shadow is a piece of someone, so from a single body, you could extract, like, a skeleton, and you could extract a shadow. Because shadows are parts of it, but they are also imbued, they have, like, stuck manifestations of magic to them. And normally they can fly, but this seems bound to the ground. Like, it's not hovering, it seems to, like, have its feet solidly affixed to the ground.
And I can't believe that the dust gives it a minus 40 penalty to stealth checks.
Yeah. It's just about the only way you'd be able to see this thing.
So does that allow most of us just kind of like casually see it? Like,
Yeah, you see like what would happen if you could light up a shadow. Like, it looks like a shadow kind of on the wall, but it's also like three-dimensionally standing in front of you. So like if a shadow peeled up off the floor and then somebody like put like a belt of light around it.
Does it look like it's what's guiding the thing in front of us?
No, the thing that's in front of you like seems to guide itself. And this thing kind of like slowly saunters behind all of you.
Am I able to gauge this thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I could do that, I'll try it too.
Absolutely.
or?
Yeah, Silvio, this thing doesn't seem particularly threatening. Like, you feel like if you really tried, you could probably, with the right equipment, you could probably take this down very quickly. But if it is somebody else's property and it's not causing you harm, they might be, like, pretty in the right for being pissed at you.
Hey, you broke my security cam.
That drone was expensive.
Well, everyone seems content to leave this thing be. Let's just follow this other thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't seem like any sort of threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was going to do something when you turned around and cast spells on it, probably would have done it.
Probably.
It will guide you to a large set of wooden doors that are built into one of the walls. And it will slowly fade away as it takes you to those doors.
Both of them?
Yeah, it's like two like double doors that are built into the wall. I'm gonna take you to one of the maps to give you.
Well, no, I meant both of the shadow things.
Oh, the other shadow is behind you, so you have like one in front of you and one behind you.
Oh, it walked into the door. Gotcha. Okay.
They walked up to the door and then like kind of gestures and disappears.
The one leading us here faded away because his mission is done.
That's the one the one leading you here is the one that disappeared once it presented the door to you.
And
How
then
long
the
does
glitter drone
dust
is
last?
still behind
Is
us.
that still on?
10
round
minutes.
per level.
Rounds?
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, that's gone. What the fuck? What map number was this one? God damn it.
The glitter dust wore off right when this one disappeared, so we think they both left.
Yeah, so there before you lies the set of doors.
To the south?
Huh?
To the south?
You don't know if it's a house or not.
No,
South.
to
To the south. Yes, yes.
All right, I'm gonna walk up slowly to the doors.
While looking for traps?
I guess I have passive perception, so. But I will, since I'm.
No, you always have you have to active perception. There is no passive perception.
No, I have a feat.
I thought he has the feat.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, man.
The feat is called Play 5e.
I was just about to say, the feet is 5e? What?
No, I thought there is technically a thing that I thought you can take that gives you
Okay.
a check whenever you come near, but I think it's not a feat. I think it's a class ability.
Yeah, it's something he has, I remember. Passively, you get to check.
But yes, I would prefer the active check, please.
Yeah, I was since I'm actively kind of looking.
Correct.
to it. That's more if like I don't know something is there.
That is to prevent you from serious surprise. Ooh. Oh, this trap isn't surprising you. The area around the door is very trapped. You notice like there's a tripwire, but in addition to the tripwire, like it has another like thing that's attached to the thing holding onto the tripwire that is like that's feeling the tension. So if you pull the tripwire, it will go off, but if you cut the tripwire, then it will go off a different way.
So you're saying that there's no way for me to...
There is a way to disable it. What I'm saying is you know that this trap is much, much harder to disarm than the ordinary trap. And in fact, might be a series of traps connected to each other.
Oh no, they've jerry-rigged some traps together.
Well,
I mean, if
don't
we
worry.
back up, I can
Luna-
just set it off.
If Luna, or that, but if you
Unless
haven't
we're trying
offended,
to be stealthy.
you haven't offended Luna too much, she can give you fortune and cackle. And I can do heroism on you. I think that gives you checks bonuses. Attack rolls, saves, and skill checks. Morale bonus. Should be able to deal with them. I don't know.
Up to you, Rusty.
I mean, if I get some guidance, that'd be helpful. Because I suspect this is going to be very dangerous if I fail this.
We'll beat that.
I don't know. Luna, are you gonna give him some fortune?
No, I can give you fortune, but I can't really do like fortune and guidance unless you.
I can guide it.
I can do guidance, or Pigrim.
Or you can guide
Or
Isaac, be useful. Give him guidance.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll give heroism to.
All right, so let's see. What is heroism? Is the one that's like +2.
+2 morale bonus, guidance to competence, so that'll stack. I don't know if we can give you any other buffs. Can't think of anything.
All right, so I get +3.
Yeah, and if you're getting fortune, that's a reroll. So.
All right, so let's see here.
Oh shit!
That's not a trap anymore.
So the most important thing that you recognize is not actually the wire once you're focusing on it. The most important thing that you recognize is that layered across the hallway are these series of like blades across the ceiling.
Oh, good.
And you can go through and sort of like go up and like jam the mechanism for each one so that they cannot come down even if you were to, no matter how you flip the wire. But you notice when you're doing that, there is another trap.
All right.
Give me another
Don't
disable
forget
device.
You have fortune.
Yep. I will not forget.
I'll guide you again.
What did you? Ooh, very, very good.
Yeah, so roll again.
Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Can't be worse.
No, that is amazing. So you are, like, as you're jamming the traps, you notice that, like, you have to operate with the utmost care to jam them, because there is a mechanism in there that if you, like, jam it too hard, you'll flip the mechanism and trigger off something else. So very carefully, you move, like, the slits that you have to, like, lock these into place, into position. And you walk over to, like, some of the... you can have everybody sort of evacuate the hall area for a moment, or like the room area, and you can walk over to one of the walls and demonstrate to the party as you like softly push away a false brick and reveal that there's like an arrow hidden behind it. And it's you can point out that multiple of these bricks are that way. They're just kind of waiting for that trigger mechanism to happen, and all of these arrows will launch out and impale anybody in the area.
This dude was not fucking around.
All right, is that all of the traps?
That appears to be all of the traps.
I'll detect magic just to...
Oh yeah, I guess I can technically see magical traps.
Yes, you did not see any magical traps, but you can detect magic, and you will see that the door is arcane locked. You'll know that one pretty easily because it's very common down here.
Yeah, I'll let them know. I think you can still pick an arcane lock to just increase the DC. So
You can.
Yeah, I think I mean, I'm pretty sure I can. I think there's something somewhere that allows me to do it.
No, you can pick it. It just arcane lock simply makes the lock harder to pick.
So I know I have use magic device, which is why I'm able to see like magical traps.
No,
so-
you're able to see use magic device because one of your class features does it. But you can
is that
attempt to
what
pick it. Yeah, you can attempt to pick this lock. Arcane lock adds a DC of increases the DC by 10.
Give him another guidance, Isaac.
yeah,
And I still have heroism, so let's.
and fortune.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just
She's
over
cackling.
in the corner laughing. Wait, roll again.
Roll again. Oh!
That is a very good time to have rolled again. Let me see here.
Clutch fortune.
And well, you wouldn't get the inspiration reroll, so I'm going to give you the inspiration from the first one. And you can feel, like, as you're working this, like, this is creating some of the most resistance you've ever felt. Like, you push up a pin, and the pin is, like, forcing itself back down, even with you turning against it. It's, like, almost bending around the cylinder as you're turning it, and so you kind of have to like hold it in place, and then you get out like another pick and you like clench it between your other finger to hold that one in place while you pick the one behind it, and you get that one to hold, and you kind of like drag your finger back, and you're like doing this like very weird kind of multi-fingered picking thing that seems almost impossible to most people watching. But eventually you will hear a click that for a moment you almost didn't think you were going to get.
Looks like I did it, guys.
All right, easy. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yep.
Well, hold on. How are we approaching this dude? Are we being very diplomatic? Are we just rushing in? Or
Well, we came to help him find his friend.
indeed. All right, let's just make sure we're all on the same page.
So we're not.
Luna, you want to handle this one since you're our most believable one, probably?
I'm pretty diplomatic. I don't know.
It
I'm not
just
really.
comes to talking.
You need someone as a translator. I can help.
I mean, I always put tons on myself when I'm down here, so.
That's
Oh,
a whole different. Never mind.
Yeah, I was like,
But yeah, the door is unlocked.
All right, I'll open the door.
You open the door. Let me do something real quick as I figure some stuff out here.
Mom's gonna sniff around and see how close anything is. If anything.
How close does Pavan get to the room?
We're both like right outside the door. Like
Okay.
once they open the door, we're like right outside.
Yeah. So Pavan can sniff around, and Rusty, with as close as you are, you can hear faint breathing on the other side of the door, trying very hard to keep itself quiet, but you can't see anything, just hear it.
I like point to my ear and then the door.
I'm gonna tell him we're not here to fight.
Alright, fine, Luna's just gonna be like, hello, whoever you are. We're not here to hurt you, we're here to help.
I doubt it. Step inside.
I mean, I'd rather not be ambushed. Why don't you, like, show yourself first? You can see we're not, like, currently have weapons out or anything.
There are at least 3 of you out there. Come in here. If you are trustworthy, then you will come in here.
You are trustworthy, you will come out?
To an army of people, I think not.
He's got it. Boy.
Step in, no further
Listen.
than the door entrance, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
All right, I'm walking,
Just one of you,
walking slowly.
whoever is speaking.
Oh, fuck. He's
As
faster than me. He wasn't the one speaking.
as you step into the doorway, I will let you give me a quick perception check. Yeah, you can see why he tells you not to step any further, as there is a
Traps.
trap in the square immediately in front of the doorway. Now, you can see like the silhouette of a figure that kind of looks like it's pacing back and forth in front of where the line of the trap is. But the figure seems to kind of move in and out of sight as it moves through the darkness.
Are you gonna let me in? I see that there's some traps in front of me here.
Who are all of you, and what are you doing here?
Do you speak in common or undercommon?
He is speaking in common.
Oh. We heard that there might be a reward if we could help you to save your friend.
When he sees you speaking, he will speak to an halfling. Can you actually trust these people you're with?
Yeah, we've been through a lot. I trust them.
I'd just like to let you know that I speak all languages, just an FYI.
Whatever.
Take a whole chunk of them. Not that one.
Still a question worth asking.
Sure, I just trying to show you I'm trustworthy. I understand what you're saying.
It's not the group I'm concerned with. It's what they have. They paid me quite a bit of money to escort them places. That was part of our arrangement. We were a team of convenience. I just need the two things that are mine back. I'm sure you didn't come down here for helping me, did you?
You want gold.
That's, I would believe.
I wouldn't lie about gold.
But people don't know that we're down here unless somebody gave it away. The other three of those idiots got themselves turned into slaves. They're down here now, proving quite valuable. However, not so easy to catch me.
Where'd they get turned into slaves? In the drow part of the area?
The ones that have crests of blue.
You might have an inn there.
Weren't the Reds the one that enslaved me?
The Reds were the ones that enslaved you.
But weren't you from the blue originally?
Yeah.
Yeah, your territory was
That's
blue
what I was
originally.
thinking, yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think I was from the blue, but the area was ruled by the blue before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we did want an end. Yeah.
These affairs between these colors are irrelevant. What is relevant is getting them back, and while I can take a large number of them, I'm sure. I can't get to what I want with how they're secured. A big operation. He is in common, yeah. He's been in common. He only did the halfling question to Higram. A big operation is controlled by the blue. The reason for much of their fighting with all of the factions. They control a number of the Durgar down here that are mining for bits of mithril, what's left of it anyway.
Well,
Your friends are likely participating, or are my companions were likely participating in that now. That area is well secured. My abilities won't get me far beyond the entrance. But
You want us to free your companions?
we need to figure out how to get there and what all the protections are. If you have an inn with the blue, that would give you an opportunity.
Yes, perhaps we can resolve this diplomatically instead of. We have it's a long story, but perhaps we can deal with this peacefully.
I doubt diplomacy will solve any of your problems.
I don't know. Have you met Luna? She's got quite the silver tongue.
All I know is that she has quite the spell of tongues upon her.
True.
Speak every languages, dearie. No one speaks every language.
Then I can currently understand and speak most all languages, okay? It was just an easy way to get the point across.
Yes. Spellcasters always assuming that they need to simplify things. instead of being clear and precise.
My apologies. I'll be very clear and precise. Tell us what we can do to help so we can go do it and help.
Oh, if it were that simple, don't you think I'd have just done it? Oh,
my God,
I have a
you're
silver
lying.
tongue. Let me talk down to this person.
So you
Well, what
don't
do they
want to
have
help?
that
I don't
you want?
understand.
What do they have that you want? That you're willing to stay down here and try to rescue your companion that you don't really care about?
This is why I sit back here and I think, will you ask these questions? Why I pause? Why I fight a little bit against what you say? I don't want you to solve this problem, and I don't think diplomacy is going to solve it in any way. These three factions have been feuding for a very long time, and there are outside interests that want to keep it that way. It keeps the mithril price down. Everybody needs the money quickly to reinforce their actions. You don't think it's coincidence that there's a trading post outside of a large turf war, do you? They profit highly from the cheap mithril and sell the items to people like us at such an inflation. You think diplomacy will solve that? What I want to know is, are you worth your weight in blades?
Well, certainly he is. I point to Tigrum. And so is him. Sylvia.
I don't weigh that much. It's a joke.
And what about the silver-tongued one and the one with all the bone men?
Each of us here is very strong in our own way. We got through your trap. That should show you that at least one of us is very skilled in that respect.
Yes, a useful thing. I focused a little too much on my ability to stay unhidden. And so it is his skills that could be useful as well. Whoever disarmed the traps. I'm assuming your spellcasters did not do such things.
Well, we aided. It was a group effort.
Yeah, I needed their help, but I certainly was able to get it done.
So you do feel you work as a cohesive team, yes?
We work as a team, yes.
Which of you is the most likely to betray the others?
Raise my hand. I'm joking. I don't do that. Probably me, if I'm being honest. No.
None. We are bonded by more than just kindness. We have agreements with each other. We would not betray each other easily.
And as I said, we're all very strong in our own right. Betrayal would probably end in death.
Yeah, I don't want to. I feel safer with the group.
A question then for you, Bone Man. What god do you worship?
See what matter that is of religious thing, but I don't worship any singular god. I believe in fate guides us all. Predetermined things and all that.
Well, I suppose you
Oh,
could
it's
understand-
religion. Is that the 8?
No, it is not the 8. And make sure. Yeah. I guess actually, for a moment while the door was open, you would be able to see some of the magic that you're seeing that passes by. That he's got on him, because you had your detect magic on when the door was being opened.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some kind of magic on his eyes. There is magic upon his cape as it kind of sways back and forth. On his armor, on something, a few things sheathed on his waist. A couple of things that look like blades, some things that look like potions. There are some rings on his fingers, some boots on his feet. So
He's decked out.
he seems like he is very well decked out in things.
Salvating the money bags.
I actually, out of character, I misspoke. I didn't mean to say I don't believe in the gods. I meant, I believe in the gods. But
Yeah,
I
you have
don't
none
worship.
that you worship.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to blaspheme the gods like that.
Well, suppose I had a reason to believe that all but one of you is more likely to betray all of you. Which one do you think I would be referring to that wouldn't be likely to betray all of you?
Wouldn't be like
I'm looking at the skeleton.
Higram is visibly confused. I know what you're saying, but Higram's pretty dumb. You went too many steps. He got
Yeah,
lost.
I mean he's detecting alignment, and so he's talking about Luna. But
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Luna, but
He's looking to see what all of you do as he asks that question, but he will, I see that this is going nowhere. You won't acknowledge what you are. So, let's keep this acquaintancely. However, you're supposed to say that, because we most certainly cannot be friends.
You weren't friends with your party?
co-workers.
We can be companions, like here.
I like the term co-workers. What's the most powerful thing down here you've managed to slay?
Well, slay or defeat?
I want to
What,
hear
the-
slay.
The giant monster? If you take the S off, she laid it.
What?
What was that giant winged creature? That was pretty strong.
You're talking about the lurker?
Was that the lurker?
You've all managed to take down a lurker.
A couple.
We've taken down a couple lurkers.
So perhaps this might be successful. The others had their problems with lurkers. I've had to save them a couple of times. But you might be able to make this work. Well, why don't I... And he'll walk over to... He'll, like, disappear from sight for a moment. And, Rusty, you'll hear a click in front of you. Why don't you all step in here, and we can discuss the layout of the situation.
You want me to recheck for traps?
You can look at... Yeah, you can give me another quick perception. The trap seems to be gone.
Damn.
Alright, looks like it's safe to enter, guys.
Does he want us to enter? I thought
He said, yeah, he also
Yeah,
wants
he
us
asked
to
for,
come in.
he asked for you to enter.
That trap
Alright.
was gone, but the one in front of it was not.
The ultimate trick!
we entered. Or
I get, yeah, I make my skeleton
Yeah.
walk in before.
You can all come in. There is nothing to be worried about as you enter the room. And we will discuss what you find on the inside of the room when we come back from a short break. See you shortly.
Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, Now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance. Do you want to be a champion? I mean that sincerely. Do you actually want to be a champion? I've seen what you can do. You're good. Maybe even good enough. But you're lazy. Most of the time you just sit there judging others for their mistakes. When you know you could do better. Well, now's your chance.
The party steps into the room. Inside is a very long table that looks like it's been sort of hobbled together. There's nails that are bent underneath it, and at the sides, it looks like somebody probably took two tables and nailed them to each other to keep this table together, and they lean up against one another. Unfurled upon this table is a very large, what looks almost like a tapestry that is there. And in it, etched into the tapestry are a number of various paths and boxes and other sort of symbols on here. And as he walks over to it and sets a hand on it, the tapestry kind of lights up a bit. All the etching illuminates. And there are some small figures, some small circles, 3 little circles that appear in one of the boxes. And they seem to be kind of staying in the same place, moving only very slightly. Well, this was not a easy thing for me to get my hands on, having created down here. I got a lot of questions. Took a lot of time to map all this out. But you'd be surprised what you can do with the right ways to manipulate someone. The 3 of them are here. Right now, this is the mines. If you see, and he'll run down a tunnel. This tunnel leads to a secure room. Most of their best people will move in and out of here and into the mines periodically. Here, and he'll gesture to another room connected to that room, is where many of them will stay. It's a room that kind of goes off the tapestry. The details of how large this room is were not important. What is important is here, and he'll slide over to a long corridor that runs up and down. This area here, this door that would be here, is very nondescript. One would not be able to notice it as something important if you were to pass it by. It looks merely like the average domicile door. It is in fact, and he'll like kind of glide back down and point out there's a lot of smaller boxes further down the area. Each of these are actually houses, and many of the people here don't even know that the mines are right nearby. They assume that there is one of the noble drow that lives within this place that barely ever comes out. He sends servants, he sends footmen to go out and do his bidding. But they know not that inside is where the mines are. There is another access hatch to the mines that I've been unable to find, where they move the cargo. I have not been able to safely assess the mining area. There are, as I said, a number of protections there, so my estimates for this area are unclear. I just thought of this, and I should have thought of this earlier. I will kind of draw out for you guys what he has in front of him. So like I said, there is a long hallway. Oops. It's not painting black. There is a long hallway that leads right down the middle. There are a lot of like little rooms that go periodically here and there. These are big. It should not be that big. Each way, and they're like these very small boxes, like you guys have seen a couple of times. You've come through things, and as Astrum has actually lived in, the homes down here are not very big. They're big enough to like put a bed, maybe have like a pot to cook some things in, using some like heat stones. But otherwise, there is not a lot that you get. Maybe you keep a bookshelf in there if you really like to read. But as you go through this, there's just a lot of these rooms, but one of these, in between a pair, turns into a bit of a tunnel that then opens into a larger room. And that from that larger room off to the side here is another much bigger room, which is where he says the guards are. And this is where it kind of cuts off because of the tapestry. And then up here are where the mines are located. Ah, my mouse is stuck. That's not cool. Apparently, if you reach the edge of the map, it doesn't let you unclick. Cool. Say up here is where the mines are. And basically, these houses cut off like this. Part of how I've been able to get some of my reconnaissance in these areas is there is a way into the guard room through one of these houses. A secret exit that was being built, I'm sure by someone trying to steal additional real estate, that happened to tap into the corner. They thought it was sealed well enough, but it is thin enough that if you have the right spells available to you, you could slip between it. And few would ever notice. He'll draw like this house that's here. It kind of butts up against the edge of this room here. Stop doing that. I found no such area, however, in the room north of it. It does not seem to have any sort of cracks or penetration. I assume there is probably something thick protecting that place from reaching into the mines. Or perhaps somebody that lives there is aware of what is there and keeps things protected. I didn't have lots of mining utensils to try to figure that out, though. But there are Also, 2 additional tunnels that run this way and this way.
So this here is like the entrance to the mine?
That is the mining area itself. He's been able to see it from being able to get within the guard area, but he hasn't been able to like get inside of it to see how big the area is.
And this is the guard area?
That is the guard area, yeah. I'll label these with some text to help out.
How many guards are in there at any given time?
Usually in the sort of waiting room for the guards, I'll call it the guard waiting room, there are usually 3 that will check in, and then they will swap out with another 3 that are in the mines. This is like a barracks of sorts, which is going to be chock full of guards.
Are the guards like magic casters, or are they mostly like combatants?
They don't appear to have a lot of magic at their disposal. They've never noticed me moving around in there. So I can't imagine they have good resources to be able to see me. The real magic seems to be in how they keep their prisoners. Everything seems to be in the mines. They don't much care if you get into the guard areas, presumably because the guards will deal with you if they were to find you, and if you happen to deal with them, you won't get much further. But their rotation keeps them pretty actively keeping an eye on things at all times.
Eric, does the door... Have you seen the door open?
Yes, the door opens inward into the barracks. The replacements usually happen in batches of 3. The new 3 come in, relieve the old 3, who leave back into the barracks. A few rotations will happen, and then they will swap again.
How long does one rotate?
The rotations happen about every 3 or 4 hours.
And the walls are stone?
The walls are stone.
Well, sound one can treat that.
Did not seem likely. I did a couple of tests within one of the rooms, and I had no... It did not seem that anybody noticed what was going on. Either that, or they were very good at hiding it. What I think I could use here is, 1, enough force to get us down the hallways. Perhaps if some sort of another one of those battles that they had not long ago happens that change their territories. If someone could incite a fight between the 2 factions, we might diminish the number of guards in the area at the time. It is not something that I can do to cause these things, is 1, I cannot speak their language, and 2, they wouldn't listen to me anyway. They already tried to make a slave of me. But you have one of them in your midst.
Well, if you killed one of their leaders, wouldn't that start infighting and probably start some kind of border war?
I'd have to be able to make them believe it was one of the other leaders that did it.
We try to guise him to look like one of the...
I'm not putting my neck out there like that. That's a way to instantly get killed.
That's what I was getting at. You're willing to risk all of us. What's in it for us?
The rest of my team's wealth. Getting captured was not part of our agreement, and if they don't make it out alive, that wasn't part of my deal. If you can put together a distraction or create this war, I can slip in, I can get you guys another route in, dependent upon where it is, I've mapped out a number of these tunnels, and I could slip you in through the other way while the chaos ensues. I will go in first, meet with them, take their goods, take the objects that are mine, and I will lead them out. And I will tell them that getting them to the outer hall is the end of our contract. And whatever happens to them after that is not up to me anymore.
What's to say you don't just take everything and leave?
Yeah, I wanted to gauge to
Yeah.
see if... Okay.
What's the matter if he takes everything and leave? We should actually probably help these people.
Yes. Help
Yes.
these people.
Help them.
So, Silvio and Higram, you get the idea that if you don't keep a careful eye on this guy, like, you know there's probably more here than he's letting on. Like, you know, he's the kind of guy that if for example, like, some number of you killed some other number of you, he might be willing to take advantage of a situation. He's literally acknowledging here that he's willing to take advantage of this situation to get his things back, as part of the deal, and he's willing to sacrifice people he's made a deal with. So you know that he's probably got something more that he's hoping happens from this. But whether or not he'll keep the deal, that's hard to tell. It seems like he mostly kept his deal to them until they kind of, like, put him in a situation where he couldn't keep it anymore.
What specifically are your items that you're collecting from?
No, that's not something I want to share. I don't want to further improve your desire to eliminate me.
We don't know what your specific items are. How do we know you're not just taking a bunch of extra stuff?
I will be taking 2 things, and trust me, even if I took more, they'll have more than enough wealth to make it worth your while.
What types of items are these 2?
A object that fits in my pocket, and an object that goes on my hands.
I'm looking at his pocket, like it's not big enough for a cloak to fit in, right?
It is not big enough for a cloak to fit in. He is very small. But he isn't like, this is one thing that Sen can, like, let you know. He's wearing gloves, but they are not magical gloves.
Yeah, but is his pocket a
Bag of holding.
It is
bag of
not
holding,
interdimensional space. It is not extra-dimensional
Okay.
space. It is also not interdimensional space, for the record.
It was a boat. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I don't got any ideas on how we cause a distraction. Normally, I would try to disguise myself as one of the drow, but I don't have access to that today.
Well, I think you suggested a slightly good idea. If you can get some infighting going, either by eliminating one of the leaders and blaming it on the other group, or in some other ways. Perhaps I heard disguises. One of you might be able to impersonate a Drowist leader. The blue leader is a rather not dissimilar to this one's appearance. Prefers to keep certain appearances up. But I know that I spoke illy of her, and it seems since then she's had kind of a rather gloomy look on her face. So perhaps this isn't really as
Talking
interested in
about
her. Yes.
I mean, I just assumed you're talking about the other drow.
I'm speaking of you. You are supposed to be good at talking. Perhaps you could be dressed as them. get in there and convince a few to make a ruckus in the red territory. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, does anybody have any way to disguise her?
I think Rusty said he does tomorrow, maybe.
I can only disguise myself.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think I have any.
We don't know exactly what she looks like anyway, though.
I could get you a glimpse of her. I'm assuming with your spellcasters, one of you could borrow that thought from me.
I'm like,
Share memories.
Well, then I would.
But we still have to find a way to make her look like the drow once we know.
I don't think there's any cleric spells that do it, so Isaac wouldn't be able to.
I've heard there's items that aren't overly expensive that can disguise your personal self out of disguise. We could check the drow market to see if maybe they have something like that in stock. Or maybe a scroll or a wand of a spell that disguises.
Well, I at least do have my outfit. I can kind of make it change to look however I want. So if I see a glimpse of her, I can at least change my outfit to match.
Yeah, the problem with disguise self is you can't change your creature type.
Oh, you can't?
I guess you can change your subtype, but it's still from human to. I don't necessarily know. How does this feel like it's worded? Because they refer to it as you cannot change your creature type, although you can appear as another subtype. So I guess you could appear as drow.
Like a humanoid elf and a humanoid human?
Yeah, I guess they mean
probably about the same.
Humanoid as the creature type.
Trying to see what spells are on the witch spell list, because we could try to go find. So there's Fabricate Disguise, but I think that just lets you quickly.
If you have the materials, you can put one together real quick.
Yeah, so it's not super helpful because I think it still requires disguise checks anyways. Vocal Alteration would let me disguise my voice. If this spell is used as part of a disguise, the target gets a +10 bonus on disguise check when trying to fool a listener.
Do you have access
I guess the
to
other
these
issue
things?
is that if we make you look like a drow.
These are just spells on the witch's spell list where we could go attempt to see if we could get scrolls of these, try to learn them, and, do this tomorrow type thing.
That will be hopefully not too tricky then. Are they powerful spells?
Those ones are kind of weak, but there is a higher level spell. Basically works as disguise self, except as a swift action you can alter the disguise. What else is there? That's weird. You can roll disguise. I've actually never looked at some of these spells. You mask your features with shadowy illumination, gaining a confidence bonus equal to your caster level on disguise checks and stealth checks attempted while in normal light, dim light, or darkness. In addition, creatures that see you while you are in dim light or darkness are unable to discern any but most general information about your appearance or actions. And that one kind of makes it hard to tell who you are at all, so...
Yeah, you don't want that. They need to know that you're the leader.
Yeah.
Or at least believe.
And then you'll have to communicate with them too. I know does tongues allow you to speak drow?
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because.
Well, that spell that makes you sound like somebody else sounds great.
Yeah, vocal alteration.
That with the hat of disguise would probably.
What does Hat of Disguise do?
Disguise self.
Okay.
But you don't have to worry about it running out, which would be bad.
Well,
Like,
there's also the adjustable disguise spell, which, I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to find it. It's a 3rd level witch spell, but it lasts 10 minutes per level.
The only danger in a spell, though, is if it runs out while you're in the middle of espionage. You're in a pickle. But
Yeah.
disguise stuff also has the danger. It's an illusion, so if somebody tries to touch you, that could be bad. They shouldn't be touching you anyway, if you're in charge.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like either trying to find a hat of disguise or like the adjustable disguise spell and the vocal alteration spell in conjunction with using like my sleeves of many garments probably is the best I could do. What is my disguise check? I mean, I don't have a horrible disguise check, so with bonuses on it, because like vocal alteration gives you a +10 bonus on disguise check. So if I have vocal alteration on, which unfortunately only lasts a minute per level, so we'd have to be kind of quick, but assuming, I don't think it would take very long, but yeah, with the bonus of that, I'd have like a +16 to my disguise.
I think disguise self. How much does disguise self give you?
10.
Oh, they gave a bonus too.
It's 10. Yeah.
Okay, what bonuses are these though? Would those stack? Disguise self.
They're untyped, so yeah.
+10 bonus on disguise check. Yeah, and then local alteration says +10 bonus on disguise check when trying to fool listeners. Yeah, so effectively, if I have both of those spells on, I have a +26 on disguise.
Could give you heroism too for another +2.
All right, so step A is get Luna disguise.
Yep.
What are we doing once we have her looking like a drow queen?
I think we make me look like the blue queen, and then I'm supposed to walk into this area where all the guards are and like say some shit about how like we need to go fight the red. And get a bunch of them
I would inform them that perhaps they've captured someone. We could say that they've captured. I wish I knew some of their names.
Can we just say a position like an ambassador or something? I don't know.
They don't really have ambassadors. They're too small time here. Perhaps you said you were from around that area. What are some of your neighbors' names?
They care about random civilians.
If they were captured by somebody else, it would be motivation. Do you know anybody that was of importance, though, there, maybe more specifically?
I don't know, Juan.
Give me a knowledge local check.
I don't have it.
Nobility?
I do have that.
Okay. So the only person that comes to mind is who the third in command was for down here. Her name is name generator. Don't fail me now. Should roll some of these up in advance and stop doing this so late. Her name is Makita.
Makita.
La Femme Nikita?
Not La Femme Nikita.
Oh, okay.
Not the show that came on after Raw on Monday nights.
Yeah, I share that name with the party and say we could say that they captured Makita. It's one of the highest ranking people I'm aware of.
That should incite something. As long as nobody's seen her in the last few days. But they don't keep her anywhere near the guards. So it's feasible.
Yeah.
So,
it's you
yeah.
taking the risk. What do you think?
I mean, am I taking this risk for us to just kill people for no reason other than they
Kill
have
people?
loot?
We're rescuing slaves.
So we're actually rescuing them, and we're not just leading them into a death trap and we loot all their items and run.
Wink.
I mean, we are rescuing them.
To a degree, we are rescuing them.
I'll be willing to rescue them if they give us their items.
I turn back to this halfling and I'm like, these people, were they good people, bad people? Are they stupid?
This is why I did not take well to when I first saw you. This is the issue. I would not normally work with someone like you if it weren't for the company you keep. People like you who walk morality's fine line are the kind of people who do not realize when advantage is available and don't take it.
I'm gonna be behind her like here. Like mime and tell her what she wants to hear. Let's do this. I'm not stealthy at all, so you probably know I'm back there being a dumbass.
You must understand that we made an agreement. These are people as bad as I am, and we all knew going in the agreement was all that binded us together. And as long as none of us broke the agreement, everything is fine. Well, the agreement is over. I have completed my task to the best of my abilities, and they have gotten themselves captured.
I don't really have a problem with you doing whatever you want to do. That's not my issue here. My problem, or issue I'm wanting to know, is the rest of my group's intentions. I don't feel right just slaughtering people who we've saved.
Let me try to help you. They were bad men. Very, very bad men. One of them...
Okay, cool. Why don't you just...
One of them liked to have forced relations with people. Is that bad enough? Will that make you feel good enough to take the action?
Fine. I get your point. I'll do it if it's what the rest of you want to do. But we'll have to find me some spells, and I'll have to learn them tonight before I can do it.
Yes. Why don't we discuss this as we head back to the market?
Yeah. Well, he will stay behind. He will rearm the defenses and stay behind.
Yeah, good. I don't want him to be a part of this.
Is there like a way I can communicate with you?
He will let you know that he'll give you like a secret pattern that you can knock on the door with to get back in. I will not force you to remember it because your character's intel score is high enough.
Mine is not. Knock.
When we get back out and start walking, do we hear the breathing? Is this thing following us again? Or
no, it is gone now.
Okay.
It did not seem to follow you in. It only seemed to follow you to the door.
When we're sufficiently away that I feel like he hasn't followed us or is listening, I say,
"Oh, here, let me look around."
Oh, sure.
Like, make sure, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
Yeah, it's not there.
Yeah, I'll detect magic as well.
Yeah, you see no magic in the area besides the door that becomes relocked all of a sudden with arcane lock.
So, are we completely against just walking in there and talking to them? Because we wanted to talk to them to try and get back at the Red for imprisoning them, right? So if we go in there wanting to be their allies to help them retake their territory, I don't know if we have to go with this whole deception.
We could try to free him and convince them to, I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, we can just walk in and say, hey, we want to work with you, and as part of this, we have some help that can help you retake your territory, and to help do this, we need to release some of these slaves in the custody of another person or something. We can pay them for them or something. And that way, it feels a lot less risky. And if we want, Luna could stay behind. Or, I mean, it doesn't even matter if she comes back disguised, I guess. But, I mean, if that plan fails, we could always try the other one. But maybe they'll be more suspicious if the queen suddenly comes after we came asking to fight them too. I don't know. I just don't. I think we wanted to even talk. We wanted to talk to them about this and try to get vengeance for. Well, I wanted to get vengeance to kill those red motherfuckers who captured me and enslaved me. So
I'm 100% on board with helping you. Like you're one of us. So that
I think it's easier.
If you feel like having a conversation with like the higher ups from your area, and you have proof that they captured you and tried to sell you into slavery in the contract that Rusty has.
Yeah, I just feel like trying to tell the truth with our own agenda would be more easy than trying to sell this deception with numerous spells that they could potentially see through, or it just feels like this could go wrong in many ways. The queen could even be there when you come in, and then that's shot. Who knows?
And we can tell him we went with his plan and set up an ambush for him. So when he comes, loot. Like it.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
I don't want to triple cross the guy, man.
I do want vengeance against those red assholes. So
I'll back whatever play the group does. I don't really, not planning is not my strong suit.
well, what do the rest of you think?
Your plan seems safer.
Yeah, unless they just don't give a shit and they know he's a red slave, and so they try to capture him because he's a red slave. Well, kind of.
Well, we know what the red insignia looks like, right?
Yeah.
What if we just disguise ourselves as red and then start trying to take people from the blue area? And then the red people did do something. And then we just run away.
I mean, but the thing is, if you're wanting to get back at the red people, technically the plan he came up with is still getting back at the reds because we're sending a bunch of the blues over to go attack the reds.
But I'd rather them be our ally so that I could personally take part in the vengeance. I wish to personally dispose of the man who, the people we spoke with.
Well, now you speak in my language. That sounds pretty interesting to me.
And I think that incentivizes them that they have willing, strong people willing to side with them to help them fight. We can maybe.
Well, this dude wanted to lead us all in there, so I don't know how you're going to change up the plan when he wants to literally lead in.
I mean, we just walk him, no? I don't know.
Without him?
Wait, maybe I missed that. He wants to walk us up to a certain point and then let us go in, or he wanted to come with us in there as well?
So when they were distracted, he was going to go in.
Yes, and then give you guys a different route to get in there.
I see.
So I imagine that he's probably watching it in some way. I mean, he has all the little toys or whatever.
Well, I mean, the distraction could literally be us trying to rally them to go, we go with them to fucking take these good red guys out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that, if we're saying don't let him know the new plan, he's probably gonna be able to tell that they're distracted and go in himself. And then he has no reason to share anything with us.
Yeah. Well, did you get a gauge of that guy? I mean, a feel of that guy, how strong he was?
No, he seemed like a scumbag, but that's all I,
Well, on condition of releasing the prisoners, part of the payment, we can maybe divvy up their items. And that was the whole reason you wanted to find them anyway, right? So if he goes in after us, who cares? We'll deal with him later if he feels like or we just tell him straight up that's what we want to do.
Yeah, but if we're going there and grabbing guys to go fight the Reds, that's what I'm saying is his opportunity. He's gonna go in.
Yeah, we can't be in two places at once.
Right. So I'm saying when we come in, we say, hey, we want to help you, but we need, as part of helping you, we want you to release these people. And to convince them to release them, we say, let's divvy up their gear. You give us some, we'll give you some. And they are released, and we got the gear, and we literally don't need this rogue guy at all. And he has nothing that we're worried about him doing about, or whatever. Like him getting all the gear,
Then we 100% have an enemy, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, we can go back and tell them, like, listen, we have personal vengeance against the Red, and we're doing this. And if you, like, as part of it, I mean, we can make a deal with them saying, we'll tell them to release them, and they're going to have some gear on them, and then you, like, as part of this, like, you better save some of that gear for us when we get back. Or I don't know. I just feel like going in with all these spells and disguises, I feel like something will go wrong. But and risking Luna seems very dangerous. We can't back her up and stuff. So.
Well, we could all be her slaves.
Sorry, I froze. I missed everything you said, Clarence.
No, I said we could all be her slaves, so she messes around.
I don't
know how Drow society works.
I don't know if I would know. The queen would just carry with her random non-Drow people and they're her slaves. Like, it just sounds weird. I don't know.
No, there might be like one or two like hand people that are like at her side as her servants. But to have like 4 people cruising around with her, that's gonna seem kind of weird. And not to have like to not have at least other Drow as well for 4 people, like enough to compensate for like what would happen if the 4 people suddenly turned on her. Yeah, wouldn't end up happening.
Well, she would have 1 Drow and all his skeletons. That's more than
one skeleton per other person.
Like, not knowing their typical arrangements, it sounds really weird that she would have that, but who knows? I don't know. If we're concerned about this guy, we can go back and he trusts us, so we can ambush him. All of us should be able to take him out. And then we do this plan, but we're getting in like very weird territory. I'm not comfortable just murdering everyone. This seems to be a quick way to get it over our head quickly, but I don't know. I don't know the best path forward. I feel like going in with honest intentions with the blue was our best bet. And I don't know, we renegotiated with this rogue fellow.
He seems really tactically minded. He could be useful.
He seemed convinced that diplomacy was not going to work.
I didn't want to divulge my personal grievance with the Red, and that they may be invested in having us help us carry out that vengeance, reclaim their territory. This was our original plan originally, right?
That's if they really honestly care about that territory at this point. I mean, they have this mining area as outlying territory to them, something that is going to be important enough to go create more infighting over.
Good point. Do I know like a color of faction losing a territory? Do they care? Like, do they want to take it back or?
So here there is something that is of value to you that you might know. Give me another. You don't have any local. Do you have history?
I do have history.
Give me a knowledge history. Okay, so this is some information that's important with regard to the territories. So the blue area does control Mithril. That is something that you know and is well known. But each faction has control of something of value that they're kind of like fighting for down here. The Reds have access to a very powerful altar that was made some time ago that is believed to have the power to grant great blessings to people. This is why sometimes the Reds are the more powerful physical faction, the more powerful military faction. But its ability is based on the number of people who wear whatever the current insignia of the Red is. There's like a literal symbol that you guys have seen that gets emblazoned upon them, which is why it has like things painted over it multiple times, and why it's not like just replaced, why somebody doesn't just come along and like take it off and put a new one up there. It's because every time someone new takes over, the only thing they can do to change it is like change something about how it's marked in order to designate it as theirs. But as other people come along and take that, the other factions gain some measure of that power. They gain access to that power by having the insignias for themselves to be able to use.
So to be clear, this territory that they took, is this nothing to do with the altar? It's just like contested area? But
this is the highest contested area because they basically come in, take the blessings from the area, and the hope is they can acquire enough of these blessings so that during the next military attack, it will give them enough numbers to be able to come in, because the benefit only works within a specific range of where the altar is. And they always activate the altar before combat because it is the safest way to get to try to win the combat, even if there might be too many aggressors.
Is the insignia on their person, like physically on their skin?
It is something that they wear. It's something they put on their outfit. So like so what you're doing is when you get into the property, you can take the insignia that they have in that specific location. It's something that has no function when you get outside of it. It's something that only some people have. So not every house that you hit is going to have one. But the houses that you do hit that have them, that's going to give you another advantage in an upcoming combat. And there's only so many of them to go around. So it's kind of like secure, resecure, and this like back and forth kind of gathering that. The green faction, on the other hand, has access to the greater portion of the natural food that is grown down here. So they are the ones who control food. They control the water supply down here. So there's a like, I don't want to necessarily call it a truce, but there's like enough of an agreement that they won't just outright like take out all of the green people. But the greens will still sometimes like push forward for territory purposes, and the reds will push back against them to like show dominance and show that like the greens shouldn't just assume that they can just take whatever they want because they have control of the food. And even though they might have control of the food and the water, there are, thanks to the people at the top and other places, there are still irregular supplies of these things that do make it in. So it's not like it's mandatory that they keep this agreement up, but it does remain. But the Reds remain smack dab in the middle of these two factions. So the Greens don't really make an attempt for the mines, and the Reds are kind of stuck in this like almost state of perpetual war, but they have the object that gives them the capability to maintain a state of perpetual war.
Alright, well, me as a player am thoroughly unsure. So would Sen have an idea of like, will they listen to me? Will they kill me on sight? Would they be interested in trying to retake the territory?
So
like, what sense do I?
Yeah, if you since you have a general idea of how much they got, because you were far enough into blue territory that like it's not often that they would march that far. So you know that they've probably at the very least managed to collect quite a few tags. Or that the red has managed to collect back quite a few of the tags that were likely there. It's possible some of them made it to the guards, but in most cases, you want the people stationed as close as possible to be activated at the time that an assault will happen. So you do keep some of them there, so they would have reclaimed some of them, and having this territory could allow them a better position to push from, because rumor has it that the Reds really want to make a push for the Mithril, especially under this new leadership. They were.
That's a good point to push. That.
Yeah, the last push that they did was to secure a hallway, but it was that was the hallway that they took from where you were at, the hall that you were on. That last push to take that region was like a very big push for them to get to a point that gives them a good thoroughfare for where there is access to, where there's better access to making a push against the mines.
Well, I would retell this history of the factions to the party and say, I think this rogue wasn't aware of all this history. I think we have a good case that if the Red are left alone in that area, they'll eventually push for the Mithril mine. I think we can convince them to rally some people to accompany us to get some vengeance. But I'm okay with whatever the party decides. I just don't feel comfortable risking Luna's life on 4 or 5 different spells, and illusions and variables we don't know about, but that's just me.
I mean, you know the territory better than us.
I lived in the territory that they are occupying, yes, so I could guide us a bit, but
No, I'm saying I think you would know better than I'm from the surface. I'm gonna go with what you think because I don't.
So
really understand all of his plan.
So yeah, I mean the issue with your plan is that this dude might take advantage of the situation and claim everything that these guys have. Or we could let him know the new plan and have him take part in that.
yeah, I don't know what's the best course of action to deal with this individual. I don't know if he's someone to be feared, if we can just make an enemy of him, or if we should.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have any way to know what we're actually doing, we could take whatever those items that he wanted are. But, like,
Essentially, he was getting his 2 items for his contribution. If we go with your plan, what is his contribution?
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is if he knows what's going on, he might sneak in and get everything.
No, I'm saying we can go back and talk to him, but then he has to contribute something in order to get his part, in order for him to be involved.
Yeah, well, maybe that's part of we incorporate this as part of the plan. He's a very well trapper. Perhaps he can accompany us to ward us of any traps, or help you, Rusty, disarm any that we come across, and as part of his service,
or set up some traps that we run them into.
Sure.
Set up for the battle, have them set up some.
Yeah. And we tell the drow that for enlisting this man's service, he wants his companions released, and maybe we throw some gold on top of it to entice the deal. And I don't know, sounds pretty reasonable to me. Help them rally forces to take their territory back, and we can loop in this guy too. It's a good idea. Get everyone working towards the same goal.
Yeah, and so I assume we would want to have set up traps for the red to run into, or do we want these blue guys that we're grabbing to go fight the red to fall into these traps?
I think it is in our best interest to align with the blue and not betray them, especially since the red enslaved me, so I'd personally like to deal with them. But I think to weed out their forces, perhaps we can lay traps and tactically take them out instead of wasting lives.
You tell us about that altar when you were going over your thing?
Yeah, I would relay everything Steve said. Like, that was basically retelling the stuff.
Yeah, so if we could get some of those insignias and they activate them, would that make us stronger?
Yes.
From what you know.
You would know that is the case. Anyone wearing the insignia on their clothing will gain the benefit of the buff if they're within the range that the buff is created. You don't know what the range is exactly, but you know that's how the insignia works.
So if in a few skirmishes we could get a couple of those, that could be great. That could help us to push back against the red even more. You know, depending on how far or how long this goes. I don't know. I like being stronger. I like the sound of it.
Well, if everyone's in agreement, maybe we head back and talk to this rogue. Did we get his name? I keep calling him the rogue.
No, he has not given you his name.
All right. Yeah, so if we just want to go back and tell him about our plan, we might have to convince him, because he seemed like he thought diplomacy was a no way, but I withheld letting him know about my gripe with the red, just because I didn't know if we could fully trust him. I want to see everything he said before giving him that knowledge, but...
Oh, well, I mean, maybe we want to go rest, learn whatever spells we're going to need for combat.
Sure.
Because he's not going to be expecting us, so there might be an issue with that, too, if we come back right now.
Sure. I guess, yeah, we can kill some time in the market Luna, you did want any of those other spells to maybe assist in anything we're doing now. I don't know.
I mean, let's check it. Let's check if they have them. You know, buy them if they do, just in case.
Scrolls aren't necessarily cheap if I'm not going to be using. These are kind of niche spells. A couple of them might be cheap, but one of them was a little expensive.
I feel like that vocal one could be useful in many situations if you're
Yeah, I
behind a
mean,
corner.
I think any of them could be useful in other situations. So.
Yeah, I mean, at least vocal alteration and disguise self are both first level spells, but actually disguise self
It's not on the
isn't
witch list.
but adjustable disguise is on the witch list.
Really?
Yeah, and it functions as disguise
Yeah, it
self
does.
except as a swift action. You can change it, but
You
that is
can't
a
do the
third
shittier
level
one, but you
spell.
can do the better one.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well, Head of the
so
Skies,
random.
if they have that item, you wouldn't need it on your spell list. It's just something you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
but
mean, let's
that-
just check if they got those 3 things then.
What slot does that take up?
Hat.
Hat.
Yep.
Hat
So like
slot.
head slot?
No, I think it's
There
separate.
isn't a hat slot. There's head or headband.
Oh, okay.
That would be head.
So,
Okay.
head.
Okay, I'm just
Not
checking, 'cause
headband.
It's like
We don't want to double eye slot shenanigans again.
The question is, will headbands make you dance? Or make her dance?
Oh my goodness.
No, too soon.
But I mean, I think it could be a comparable thing, though. We can see like what's cheaper if they have the adjustable disguise spell, or if they have a hat of disguise, and see like how the prices compare.
Yep.
Okay. So, what exactly are you asking for, and in what order?
I guess I'd go to someplace that has like scrolls first, and I would ask. First, I'll ask to see if someone has the vocal alteration scroll, because for sure we're hoping to get that.
I just have to step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yep. Ooh, damn. They do... Wait. No, they do have the vocal alteration spell. It is... I gotta look this up again. That will run you 75 gold.
Yeah, so I mean,
Any chance I can
Easily grab that.
diplomacy this person to try to get a slightly more on par with normal pricing and not overpriced, which I'm
Sure.
assuming is what they're trying to do here?
Sure. Yeah, you can negotiate with him, and he will bring the price down to 50 gold.
Okay.
I don't normally do this for your kind, but I suppose I can make it happen here.
And since I am buying things from him and he's being nice to me, I'll ask if he has adjustable disguise as well.
Interesting series of things you're looking for. And you're in luck. I happen to have one. And he'll like take it out and put it down on the counter, but he'll hold his hand on it. There's 2 optional prices for this one.
Okay.
500 gold if you want it the normal way. 800 gold if you want it the quiet way.
What's the normal way entail?
When we sell these things, we're obligated to tell the 3 leaders that one of these things has been sold here. We don't tell them to whom, but we must let them know that a spell capable of changing one's appearance has been sold here. For 800 gold, it could just fall out of my inventory. And
is this in common or undercommon? Because I need to know for
it's
if
an
I can
undercommon.
gauge.
Oh, well, then I can hear it. So I guess I'll try to gauge that,
Yeah.
see if that sounds true.
Yeah, he seems to be on the up and up about it. As up and up as selling something against the rules can be.
All right, so that's 800.
It would be 850 for the combination of both spells.
It's like it just fell out of my inventory.
And with which it's 100% chance to learn this by feeding it to the familiar. Or is there a chance for
Oh, yeah,
do
failure
I-
on this?
Do I get the feeling that he won't actually report it if we spend the money?
Yeah, you get the feeling he won't report it if you spend the money.
So if someone gave me something that buffed my, if I basically had a buff of +1 to skill checks from a spell, I would have 0 chance of failure.
What
Yeah,
guidance
well, yeah,
was?
we know we have guidance and heroism, so.
Yeah, so
Sounds
basically as long as I have guidance or... Well, yeah, so I don't know if guidance... I don't know how these work, because technically I think it takes a while to learn spells. It's not like
Correct.
a quick thing. It's technically...
And
I'm sitting
guidance
there
only
for
lasts for a
while.
minute, or until
So,
discharged.
I don't know if there's a point at which I know I'm about to, like, make the check and someone can pseudo guidance me right as I'm like finishing.
No,
it or
I think
something.
part of like the game theory on this doesn't quite work. If you guidance is for like kind of an immediate thing. It's not
Yeah.
like there's the whole thing is what the check is encompassing. So that
Yeah.
whole time, it's not just the one instance of making the roll.
And how long did the heroism last again?
70 minutes.
Oh, so that actually would last long enough because I
Yep.
think it's like an hour per spell. So
Okay, perfect.
heroism would work. So yeah, so with heroism on, I have 100% chance to roll these spells.
Okay.
Because basically,
Right.
what heroism gives you a +2.
2.
Yeah, so that would put my spellcraft at an 8.
That's sad. I wanted you to buy the most overpriced scroll that this guy has, feed it to your familiar, and have it like be like, "That was delicious. Got another one."
Nope.
All right. Yeah. So I'll buy the 500 or the
800.
Yeah, the $500 one. 800.
It's
Yeah,
800
and
if you
then-
want him not to report you.
Yeah, I'll buy the $800 one, and then somebody else buy the cheaper one.
50.
Yeah.
I can get that.
Okay.
So that's 5 platinum.
And for the record, you were only getting offered the $800 option because of your diplomacy, just in case you weren't
Gotcha.
aware of what was happening there. Because he would not have made the offer to just anybody who asked.
And if it matters, I paid in platinum.
Okay.
Am I lucky enough that these spells are in the compendium? Oh, vocal alteration is. What is this mean? Here we go. And then adjustable. Of course, adjustable disguise is not in the compendium. That one would be too weird. And I guess now I feel like I have a reason on potentially next level up to actually put a point into disguise as well.
Hmm.
Do you want me to actually roll these checks?
No. If you get him automatically, then that is fine.
Yeah, so basically if I have heroism on, that takes my spellcraft from a 16 to an 18. It's a DC 16 for the level 1, DC 18 for the level 3.
Okay. So you'll need
So
the heroism
effectively-
for the level 3 one.
Yeah.
And then you can learn the level 1 without the heroism. Got it. Alright, you can memorize the spells. Anything else you guys want to pick up while you're down here?
Any chance he has a page of spell knowledge?
A page of spell knowledge.
Level 2 with bone fist on it?
What are you going for?
I'm assuming the answer is going to be no. I think page of spell knowledge has to have a specific spell on it when it's made.
I think so.
So, probably not.
I will give you a very slim chance.
Yeah, I was like, I'll ask, but the answer is no.
Are you gonna keep up my good luck, Mr. Scroll Person?
This has nothing to do with
What?
good luck.
Yeah, he probably needs a 100 out of 100 or something.
Yeah, you need a follower. You need like an army of 8 followers. 57. I'm sorry, no dice, sir.
I didn't think so. What? I'm outraged. How can he not have the one specific thing with the one specific spell I wanted?
I don't know if this would do anything. Are there any, like, could I find, like, books on, like, potion making? Something that would help me with, like, I don't know.
There are actually books that you can acquire that would help you working with reagents and creating potions. They wouldn't give you the feat to create potions, but they would give you a bonus when you are using craft alchemy to produce potions or other alchemical mixtures.
I mean, I can do that second part, so yeah, I guess that would be helpful.
Yeah, let me see what there is down here. And give me a diplomacy or bluff.
Oh, I'd love to give you a bluff check.
Can I aid him in it?
You can.
Do I have to aid him with what he's doing, or can I aid with my best option?
You, in order to aid in a bluff, I'll let you aid with the diplomacy.
Because I mean, I could do either. Just my diplomacy is better.
It's fine. I think you auto aid anyway at this point.
Bad.
But yeah, you can auto aid Rusty, and Rusty, the gentleman that you are talking to will inevitably, like, at first they don't really want to sell it. They don't like the idea of, like, passing on knowledge to outsiders. But eventually you can kind of push them at it, and they'll let it go for about 500 gold.
Can I roll an appraise check on that?
Yeah, you can roll an appraise on that. It's a little high. It's a little under double the value. Normally something like this would be worth about 300 gold. Actually, even by down here standards, it would be worth about 300 gold. If you could get one of these on the surface, it would probably be worth about 150 gold.
Could I try to talk him down a little bit? Maybe if not speak in undercommon, maybe that might.
Yeah, give me a. I'll go off of your bluff here. He'll like work with you and bring the price down to, if you like push him now that you've got the appraise and you know what it's worth, he'll like acquiesce and be like, all right, look, I'll give it to you for a little over what it would be up there. It's gonna be hard for you to get it up here. We've been cornering the market for a while on these books, so 200 gold.
I can deal with that. That sounds like a fair price.
Yeah. And this is effectively a +2 circumstance bonus on craft alchemy checks.
All right, I'll put that in miscellaneous.
My question, you made it seem like at one point that you wanted with like craft wondrous items and stuff to have like more like components or something, or like items we needed to actually like craft things that we would have to find down here.
For some items, yes. So if there's items that are worth more than like a certain value or that require certain things, there will be things you'll need to look for. So if there's stuff that you want, you kind of want to let me know.
There's one particular thing I am hoping to make as soon as we get back to the surface, which is a cackling hag's blouse for myself.
Okay.
So basically its requirements are hideous laughter or the cackle hex, 5 ranks of intimidate, but these are things you can sub out for a higher DC. Its normal cost to create it is 3,000, so retail plays 6,000. Don't know if there's anything on that I would need to be looking for.
So here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find, like, you need trophies or other similar things that are going to really resonate the power that you need, right? Because a lot of this isn't like in just imbuing the blouse with the magic. It is also in having these like grotesque and malformed trophies that really echo the power that is contained within it and kind of help focus the energies provided by the hexes. This takes the form of like slaying particularly dangerous monsters and collecting a couple of heads, basically 2 heads of any monster that is particularly dangerous to most people.
Damn, I wish I knew that when we killed the fucking lurker.
The lurker head would be too big. Lurker is too large. It needs to be something that can fit on it, like at a reasonable size.
Wouldn't that be like? I feel like that would have to be like a small creature, like.
You can like shrink them down, and you're basically keeping like their skull with some of the flesh on it. So like a medium-sized creature would be fine. Okay. And there are medium creatures down here that are threatening and problematic that you could deal with.
Would a drow be considered a threatening and problematic?
It would technically be.
I'm not so sure I want to walk around down here though with a drow head on my.
But yeah, essentially you need 2 heads of something that would be threatening to most people. Well, no, I guess to the average person.
Should have took a gibbering mouther eyeball or something. Or
They don't.
Oh yeah.
Mouth.
There's not like really a way to do that because if you like pick up their mouth, it's like just slime. So like the mouth kind of like falls apart in your hand and like collapses back down.
All right.
Yeah, so actually, if we're looking for materials for valuable items too, I mean, I'm probably going to be wanting to upgrade this headband to +4. I'd probably be looking at that. I mean, it's craft wonders item, Owl's Wisdom, and 8k gold.
Yeah, there's a lot of mithril that's gonna be required in that. Mithril's gonna be a big component for headbands. A lot of mithril, a reasonable amount of like gold and silver go into it as well to try to create enough of the adornment that's required to make the headband work. They get kind of woven into the thing. So if you did gain some better access to these mines, it would help a lot in production of like headbands and the like.
Okay, perfect.
Headbands, belts, and boots would be the 3 things it would help out a lot with.
Oh yeah, the other thing I want to try and do is sell this vial of gibbering spittle that I have.
Yes. Some people are willing to buy some of that off of you for, actually down here, it won't sell down here. Sorry.
Okay, I'll have to wait.
You gotta wait till you get to the surface.
Then I will wait.
But yeah, you all have the things. The spells are memorized. And you have some objectives. What is your plan from there? Where are you resting? Because I know you said you wanted to rest.
Well, I assume the wizard's room where we were rested before.
He's not a wizard.
Or
you mean the guy, the guy back on the 4th floor, the 4th floor.
Or by the market.
Or we literally can stay at Sen's place, which is technically
technically Rusty's
place.
Yeah, I forgot about that place. Definitely.
It's up to you. Which of the 2 places do you want to stay? You know, Sen's place is very small, so a lot of you are going to be sleeping on the floor.
Got my bedroll.
Yeah, in the in our bag, I'm pretty sure I have my bedroll chilling in there. Let me open that up and make sure.
Well, I am not a fan of sleeping on the floor.
Well, we'd give you the bed.
Okay.
Yeah, Silvio bedroll. Yeah, it's in the bag.
Yeah, very typical. The drow giving their bed up to Ullman. Nothing. No stereotyping there.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a normal drow.
Yep.
So I mean,
Come on, bite.
That was an accident.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah. Sleeping on the
It's
floor,
like, "Arr,
man.
my bed. We just need to level up, and then this wouldn't be a problem. We would have a garden to go sleep in.
But you're staying at Rusty's place?
Oh wait.
Yes, it is
All
my
right.
place.
Yeah, so down here, you know that there's no oncoming battle. There's not a high risk of it, but you guys can sleep soundly enough down here.
Well, I mean, I'm planning on keeping a regular watch.
Yeah, that's fine. But overall, like, you don't.
Go
It's
to
not
bed.
as uncomfortable as if you were like sleeping in some of the much more dangerous places to rest. So yeah, you will all sleep through the night.
Oh yeah, there's one thing I wanted to try while I still have access to it.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to try to drink that one extract that I made better, just to see what, like, if I could notice, like, if I could identify the noticeable difference.
Yeah, which one was the other one?
The shield.
Yeah. So you drink the shield extract. And you put, I forgot whether it was one or both in there.
I just put the effect one on it.
Okay, so it's increased effect. This, like, shield, you can feel that the shield is larger as it sits out in front of you. It is, if I remember it, the shield spell is like semi-translucent or mostly translucent.
I didn't read all of the effects.
I'm
Or I
reading
didn't
real
read the.
quick. But you can, like, you can see it has like a light amount of distortion effect from where you're standing, not enough to ruin your eyesight, but like that thing that you see when you're near gasoline that's like evaporating in front of you, there's a little bit of that haze that's there. But you do notice that it is like quite bigger than it would be normally. You get the impression that this would provide you a much more substantial amount of defense if you were using it in combat. At least 50% more.
Detect magic and do spellcraft or knowledge arcana. Could we try to actually like get the physical numbers?
Absolutely.
Okay, so would it be?
You can do both of those and give me a knowledge arcana check.
I mean, technically we'll give that like relevant.
Okay. So yeah, between Luna and Rusty, you are both aware that this would function as a +6 shield bonus to AC.
Pretty good.
Is there anything else you all want to do before morning comes? During the night, any plans? No?
No.
I'm sleeping.
Then that is where we will all sleep for tonight. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.